The cooperative world order we imagined 25 years ago has not turned into reality. Instead, we have entered a new era of harsh geostrategic competition. The world's major economies are vying for access to raw materials, new technologies, and global trade routes. From AI to clean tech, from quantum to space, from the Arctic to the South China Sea, the race is on. As this competition intensifies, we will likely continue to see frequent use of economic tools, such as sanctions, export controls, and tariffs, that are intended to safeguard economic and national security. But it is important that we balance the imperative to safeguard our security against our opportunity to innovate and enhance our prosperity. In this spirit, we will need to work together to avoid a global race to the bottom, because it is in no one's interest to break the bonds of the global economy. Rather, we need to modernize the rules to sustain our ability to produce mutual gain for our citizens.
Night crew, we are back and we're picking up where we left off, and I want to show you some things. So last night we went over metals, we went over them controlling your body, and we hypothesized that a lot of the riots that we're seeing is because people have devices inside of them where their moods are being controlled. And you notice that all of these riots are in heavily jabbed areas, right? California, New York, every places where everybody ran out and did what the government and the wicked ones told them to do is where we're finding these riots. You don't find them in Jackson, Mississippi. You ain't finding them in Mobile, Alabama. You're not finding them in Tallahassee, Florida. You're not finding them throughout Florida at all. You're not finding them in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, or down in New Orleans, or you finding them in extremely liberal locations, which we know they have a higher rate of following what the government told them to do. So let's go on to the next thing. Let's just keep it moving.
And the funny part of it is, I will tell you how to do it.
Thank you.
Now, so the next time you hear that we want to help you, there is this vaccination, we want to do this, wait a little bit. I did not say they're evil. I didn't say nothing. I'm simply saying, watch what it is that gets into your body. Because the idea is if they can control you. I began to see another second thing that I saw was, you know, a tattoo, just like it's a simple tattoo, but it will be a bio tattoo. Did you hear what I just said?
Yes.
I didn't say metal tattoo, I said bio tattoo. That can tell them whatever is on you, to a point where they can even administer medication through a bio tattoo. That you cannot scrape using a knife. So imagine rage, riots being detected, your emotions being detected just by that. And how are they doing it? Doing it using frequencies. I repeat, frequency, frequency, frequency. Metals, metals, metals. I'm telling you this, it's already out there. They are busy arranging it, and they are busy to give it to everyone, including yourselves.
Nah, there'll be those people who say, I don't know what this man is talking about. He's a fraud. Dark Waters, he's a fraud. Yeah, I know. That's why I did this. That's why I did this. Let's go on get to it. Yeah, let's go on get to it. Come on, open up.
Dion, you have some great skin there, but did you ever thought of putting a little microchip around that?
Excuse me? Why should I? Microchips? Those are for computers, right?
No, but actually we have now a really cool new invention of wearable technology. And with us we have from Beta Boston Needy. and she's telling us about a new invention by MC10, who built a wearable skin tattoo actually, with a chip in it. Nidhi, how did that come to you?
So traditional electronics tend to be big and they tend to be rigid, but new advances have been able to shrink the electronics in a way that can interact with our skin and bodies in ways that they haven't been able to before.
All right, but if the chip is on my body and my body bends and my skin stretches, how can it stay on?
That's a great question. They've been finding ways to make these sensors really small and really flexible, just like your skin, but also sticky so that they stay on. The electrodes have been combined with stretchy materials, so they can go on your skin, they can go in your eye.
Nidhi, can you tell us, like, how will it really change our lives that we will have this technology really on our skin in the future?
Well, everybody is interested in health tracking these days. Maybe you wear a Fitbit. These skin sensors can tell you even a little bit more. They can tell you what your heart rate is, whether you're sweating, what your temperature is. And later, embedded in the heart or in the brain, companies like MC10 are looking at ways in which you can make the technology get even closer than before.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to how that will look like.
Yeah, me too.
Nidhi, thanks very much, and I'm sure we'll hear more from you in the future about this great new technology. Thanks.
Now, for those people who will say, "Oh man, I already know this." Good. I'm happy for you. That means you're awake. But you got to remember, our job is to wake everybody else up. Our job is to make people understand. And the reason why I keep coming to this gentleman is because the body of Christ is one that has not been woken to these things. We the people who are lambs led to the slaughter, and we're the people who Satan gets an advantage of because we don't know the devices of Satan. And so that's the reason why I always bring it from this angle, is because I don't want you to be ignorant of the devices. Like we know there's a surveillance grid. We know these things exist, but if you were to just go back and look at this, and I'm gonna bring this on the screen so you can see it, that was 10 years ago. Let me move it over. I know you can't see the date. Let me just make it wider and move it over. 10 years ago. Right there it says 10 years. So 10 years ago, this technology was there. 10 years ago, we're dealing with this. And so when you hear people like Urono Noah Havari saying it works, they're going to know you better than you know yourself, he says it because he already knows it's available. He knows it's available. And he knows it works now. The issue is the rollout. You can't stop him from developing the technology, but what you can do is you can stand up to the rollout. And this is what the prophet is saying. This is what he's trying to relate to people, and this is why he's saying he may have to delete this video, because, and I understand, because he's going deep into subjects that people don't want you to know.
And that means they can actually control your temper, control your emotions, when to get angry, how to get angry. The battle is for control.
Yes, sir.
So it is like an invisible microchip, but it will be a tattoo. Remove. You see, when we have, we thought there's going to be the chip inside you, and you can just cut and remove it. No, this one you will not be able to remove. I just told you, because it goes back to the blood. Number 3, there's going to be a deliberate, watch this, deliberate control of the medical system, including doctors. For those of you that are in the medical industry, systems are about to change. And modus operandi, the way they operate, is about to change. And licenses and new trainings are going to be demanded. It will act like it's a refresher course, where doctors are going to be told, we're going to learn this, we're going to just top up using this and top up using that. But that will be an attempt to change the course of history, to change everything that has to do with the medical industry. So they have better control of doctors and better control of nurses and all medical professionals. So you better know now that this thing is about to come. If you're in the medical industry, they are going to change rules and regulations very quick. It'll be so quick that it'll act like it's a memo going through everyone. Do this, or you lose your job. So I'm praying for everyone in the medical industry that the Lord will protect you. No matter what they try to do, that the Lord will protect you mightily.
Yes, Lord.
That will not be hard for you.
Yes, Lord.
Because there are some people who were told, do this, give them this vaccination, and they didn't want to do it. One thing I saw was also about Africa. Like, we're talking about a certain percentage, a very growing percentage, 10%, 15% going.
Let me touch upon the medical aspect of this before he goes into Africa. Because you guys not really going, quite frankly, you might not even care about what's going to happen in Africa. I will tell you this. This man's prophecies normally hit 98% of the time. And the other 2%, you pretty much can wait and they're going to hit. But let me show you a little bit about what he's talking about what's going on in medicine. He goes further on to explain that AI will be the doctor, but I'm going to go ahead and disclose to you now and show you where AI is currently the doctor. And I'm going to go a little bit further and speculate and say this. You see, everything, you know how Alex Jones and hardcore conspiracy, he's not conspiracy theory, hardcore leaders in the field of truth say that they have a breakaway civilization? When you think about everything that's been rolled out, AI is needed for a breakaway civilization. AI doctors needed for a breakaway civilization. Solar power energy needed for a breakaway civilization. Rockets that take off and land on their own are needed for a breakaway civilization. Vehicles that can drive themselves are needed for a breakaway civilization. So we got two things coming or already happened. Either they broke away already and gone to places and started preparing the way with all this technology that they're now making available to us, or they're getting ready to go. I personally believe, based on everything I've seen, like AI being around in 2008 to 2010, that all this stuff is being used to already break away. People talk about, you can understand the deep underground military bases, dog waters. You don't talk about the dumbs. Talk about the dumbs. No, you don't build all this crap because you want a deep underground military base. Are you crazy? You build this crap because you want to go to another planet. You build skin, new skin, synthetic skin, so you can go to another planet. You build robots so you can go to another planet. You don't need that to go underground to go to another planet. Well, DW, you know there's no such thing as space. You can't get outside the firmament. Can't leave the firmament. Be quiet, boy. Be all the way quiet. Watch this. Let me go take you to the medical stuff they're doing.
Purveyors of the finest lab-grown human skin. Welcome to Cutis. Purveyors of the finest lab-grown human skin. Founder Daniela Marino is another immigrant turning Swiss R&D into a startup. She formed Cutis in 2017, hoping to transform the way we treat severe skin damage.
So what we do is trying to shift the paradigm towards saying, okay, give me a little piece from somewhere. We receive a piece of skin of the patient as small as a stem, and then we can extract the stem cells, expand them, and then recreate skin using a bioengineering technique.
When the skin is done growing, it looks something like this.
Delicious. This is both cool and slightly creepy, isn't it?
No. You haven't seen anything creepy for real in your life then.
But we'll figure that out. But I want you to see this in the full effect. I want you to see it in full effect as to what the prophet is talking about. This is the future that they already have. And you wonder why you'll see somebody who looks old one week, then they look young another week, and they look old another week, a celebrity, then they come back and they look young. It's because they have access to crap like
This is not a doctor's office. It's Forward, the world's first AI doctor's office. It all starts with the CarePod, an entirely new approach to healthcare with prevention at its core. With health apps, your care team has the latest technology to treat the issues of today and prevent the issues of tomorrow. We'll start by establishing a baseline of your health, diving deep into all aspects of your health, past health history, current health state, future wellness goals, body scan, biometric monitoring, blood testing, and more. It's all about understanding where you are today, where you want to be, and how to get there. After establishing a baseline of your health, you're able to personalize your care with health apps built for you, like our Heart Health app, shown to lower blood pressure in 90 days, powered by CarePod and at-home biometric monitoring. We'll be able to detect murmurs and other irregularities and help lower your risk of a heart attack or stroke. With a focus on keeping you healthy, you and your care team will be equipped to make the right decisions for your long-term health. Or our Skin Cancer Scan app, which enables you and your care team to track things like mole growth and skin lesions over time. Or our Mental Health app, to monitor anxiety and depression with ongoing guidance and support. Whether it's weight management, diabetes screening, or everyday care, like a routine blood draw, COVID-19 testing, or kidney and liver health, there's something for everyone. Because health isn't just about seeing a doctor when you're sick. It's about continuous, comprehensive care that addresses your health concerns today and prevents those of tomorrow. The world's first AI doctor's office. It's forward.
And it wouldn't be a bad idea to go forward if the reason why we weren't going forward was for total control of some of the most wicked people on the planet. I think it's a fantastic idea. But they've already confessed out of their mouths that the reason why they want to do it is because they want to control you. And see, this is the danger of the technology. This is why this has to be wrestled from the hands of these wicked people. Or what has to happen is someone like myself has to go in and buy a forward doctor's office and open an office and ensure that the data is not manipulated. So I would need to go invest $2.3 million into the AI doctor's office. And I would need to be the person that opened the AI doctor's office. And I would need to be the one who's quiet about it and pretends to be a globalist and just undermine everything that they're doing. But if we're not careful, these people will have they already have a lot of your data. They'll have all your body data, your biometric data, and you'll turn it over to them because they're telling you you're going to get sick. So when Prophet Hubert Angel says, hey, there's another pandemic coming, they got so much progress from the very first one. This one would allow them to roll in whatever they want to roll in. In America, I don't think we're going to succumb to it because by law, we've made changes to law that will not allow us to. But what it does mean is that they would have to fall back on fear and anxiety, those spirits, to bring it in. And that means it would just be even more harsh than it was the last time. Let's get back to it. Now, I want you to understand this, what you're about to watch is a short clip, but it was said during the 2025 World Economic Forum meeting, which I think was May 2025, maybe late April, early May. And when you watch these meetings, which is what I do, when they have their meetings, I sit there and I watch the meeting. I won't do no content. I'll take my cell phone. I put it on the front balcony and put it in a little holder and sit there and smoke cigars and watch their meeting. When you watch their meeting, you can watch it from two ways. You can watch it to see what kind of investment opportunities out there in the future and then say, okay, that's not too wicked. I think I'll get in that. Or you can just watch it for the pure evil. But the one thing that you get out of watching these people is you get a clear understanding of what's coming. They don't do these things unless they have a plan. And watch this.
Looking forward, there's just a profusion of really exciting technologies across all three diseases. The one that is probably the most exciting is the emergence of long-acting injectable PrEP. It's a bit of a mouthful. Effectively what it is if you're looking at it from a patient perspective as opposed to a scientific perspective, is it's functionally equivalent to a short-acting, 100% effective vaccine. You take it every 6 months. This is a drug called the lenacapavir, and it is incredibly effective. Looking forward, there's just a profusion of really exciting technology.
So you take it every 6 months, and it acts effectively every 6 months. But in order to get me and you to take that, there has to be a reason. I need to go back and find the name of that and find the manufacturer of that, and that'll lead us down the road. Make a note. Name of short-acting drug. And you notice he said effectively it's a vaccine, but they're not naming it a vaccine. Effectively it is one, right? And so when the prophet talks about these things that are coming, he's getting ready to get into the weather next. When he talks about these things that are coming, that are already here, they're getting ready to roll out, it's obvious. And the danger that we're in right now, for example, you take the Pam Bondi debacle that's going on right now, which I'm not sure if there's been any updates on her since earlier this morning. Well, everybody's looking over here at this. Simultaneously, you got storms breaking across the whole world. Weather warfare going on across the entire globe. Nations using weather weapons against nations. Right now, we're going into the weekend of the 11th, going into the 12th. The next 7 days are scheduled to be some horrific weather patterns crossing the United States of America, going all the way to the East Coast. If I'm not mistaken, by Sunday, Monday morning, we should see some horrific things on the East Coast, the entirety of the East Coast and the southeastern part of the nation. Horrific storms. And then when you look at the weather patterns, hurricane season, during hurricane season, had the hurricanes traditionally come off the coast of Africa. If you pay attention, now they're coming from the Yucatan Peninsula, and they're coming from, is that the Yucatan Peninsula? The Bay of Campeche, and they're sparking right off the coast of America. Since when did a hurricane, tropical storms, sit off the coast, build up, and then slam directly into cities? It's weather warfare. And now let's go back to the prophet, because he's going to talk about it.
Going up there. Of growing economies will be in Africa. They didn't get that. A new scramble for Africa, where the growth will be from another location, and the richest industry will not be the energy industry that you're thinking of, although it is wonderful. But it will be those professions and companies that manage to bring all these resources and all these giftings in one location, where I'm looking as a country, I'm looking for this and this and this to be done in my country. And one industry says, you know what? We can gather 70 countries, 70 companies that do this and this and this. So the organizers are going to be the ones to get to the $1 trillion. So it's not a person who is dealing with energy, who is dealing with this, who is dealing with this. It's people that have connections. It will be your network that will be your net worth.
Your network.
It's a point where there are going to be giant companies, corporations created that will create wealth by joining abilities together and say, we can bring this in one location to do this. All right? Yes. And God also showed me something, another disease coming. I don't want to come out in the open and say they are going to create a disease, but I just said it. Another pandemic is coming. Pandemic.
Plan. It's planned.
When you say it's planned, the pandemic that is planned is coming. As I said this, that means another lockdown is coming. This is what I heard, the end of car batteries. Wow. So technology is good, but those who are in lithium, quickly do this thing. Quickly sell. Do it quick. Get into mining quickly and take the things out immediately, because another technology is coming. That will not require lithium. I did not say lithium is ending. I just said it will be the end of carbon. An energy source is coming for these cars. An energy source is coming for batteries. An energy source is coming. I also saw weather control system in place where whole countries will be able to control weather. No, they didn't get it? Say, I know when I talk about this, people say, we are talking about sowing clouds, cloud sowing. No, I'm talking about controlling the whole system to actually know tomorrow we are making it what? I'm not saying predicting it. Telling you that by December, rain will be from December 1 to December 24. We remove it during Christmas and it will be hot. Selecting weather patterns. You see what I'm saying now? Yes. When people look at it, they think it's 6 years to come or 20 years to come, or it will never happen. Watch the words of the holy ones. So you will see that it is possible to make a country or a continent poor. We should be weather wars. They are using wars. They're using technology to fight other countries.
Weather wars. And remember, we did this thing where we talked about the upcoming water wars. And we said, man, how could there be a water war? Come on, you no good, low down. Here it is. This thing is freezing, guys. I'm sorry. For whatever reason, it's not loading correctly. Let me see if I can just refresh it and see if I can get it to do what it needs to do. It's been acting right the whole day, but the minute I really get to the spooky ooky late night videos and go trying to get to hardcore truth. Remember we did this? We did this video about water auction and water rights. We talked about the weather war between India and Pakistan. This should be on the screen, yes. And let's just go see what the World Economic Forum is saying again as a recap for people who don't know.
Everyone here in the room.
Go ahead and play. Quit playing.
Good afternoon, everyone here in the room, as well as the...
All right, it's acting stupid, so we have to go to YouTube.
Good afternoon, everyone here in the room, as well as those of you who are watching us live. Welcome to the World Economic Forum session on Out of Balance with Water. As the poet says,
it's water, you listen, water.
But not a drop to drink. Water in the air, water in the soil, water in the groundwater, water in the rivers. There's so much water, and yet a lot of this water is unusable. And increasingly, this water cycle on which we have been relying on for so long is becoming unpredictable. And we do not know when and where we can get access to this water, for how long, and whether there will be too much water as a consequence of, for example, climate change. Most of our climate change impacts are felt through water. And today we find that if you define safe and just boundaries for water, surface water, groundwater, the total water budget, we find that we are outside these budgets at the global level, but also at the local level. For example, we are taking out more water from the groundwater system than we are recharging in many parts of the world.
Shut up, you witch. You damn witch, shut up. Shut all, I can't, I'm sorry guys, I can't put y'all through it because I can't, it makes no sense what she's saying. So the carbon cycle and the water cycle are expressly connected to each other. And they've been talking about reducing carbon, which will reduce water and it lead to more erosion and runoff. And the concept that you can budget the water. Think about it. In the Bible, it talks about water being, clouds being bottles of water, right? If you really study Job 38 and really read it as a person who's really talking to God and God's giving Job a quiz, then God just pretty much lays out how he created things and what they were created for, right? He breaks out, the dawn of the morning. Have you commanded the dawn to shake off the wickedness from the ends of the earth? It means that dawn can carry wickedness to the ends of the earth. And God commands it to shake off the wickedness every morning, right? And he challenged Job to a whole bunch of questions. You just go through that conversation with him and Job, my Lord, you'll learn so much about how the Lord created things. However, for them to sit there and say they can budget the rivers in the sky, which is what God calls the waters in the sky, the rivers in the sky, or the rivers on the earth, or the waters in the oceans, or the rivers inside of the earth, in the oceans inside of the earth, is absolutely insane. But what it does tell you is that these people have quantified it. They have found a way to quantify it. And so getting back to the point of what the prophet was saying, let's just go look and see what's going on with the weather. And then we're just going to go see. I'll be right back. Let's go look. And here we go. West Plains, Missouri. Flood, AccuWeather. China's had floods all over the place. And I'm going to go ahead and explain a few things to you while we're looking at this. Floods across to America, Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, North Carolina, and Chicago. I'm interested in seeing this. There's what's going on in New Mexico. I would have the sound for you, but people tend to add music, and it's more work for me to do later on. Next one. Oklahoma. Durham, North Carolina. Mesquite, Texas. Looks like a damn river. You may be saying to yourself, well, what's the point you're making on these floods? Now, this is currently going on right now as we speak. Emergency update, flood threatened weekend, Oklahoma and Texas. This is currently happening right now. I'll tell you, this is China. That's April 2024, but there was more from China that was recent. Here it is, June 25th, which this one refuses to play. Spain, which was 4 hours ago. And I'll say this. There's times when God used floods for judgment. He promised he wouldn't judge the whole earth by a flood again, but he didn't promise that he wouldn't judge by a flood. He said he wouldn't flood the whole earth. He didn't say he wouldn't flood your city or that city or this city. But I think it's a little bit deeper than this time. You see, when we started to see China flood was around the time of the tariff conversations and wars. And the Chinese Communist Party and the Chinese people are very, very superstitious, especially with their leaders, because their leaders are believed to be God. And when the flood waters ravage the cities and against a leader, it's a bad omen that that leader is not God. And that's how Chinese Communist Party governments are overthrown. It's based on superstition and those superstitious events. And so we see China come under weather warfare at a high level. And then here comes America under weather warfare at an extremely high level. And I just want to say, I think that we're dealing with weather wars. Again, our military budgets have been increased. Nobody's coming over here shooting no rockets and no missiles. But the one thing that they can try and get away with doing is weather wars. And that explains a lot of what people like Jessica Lynn have been exposing. Hold on, let me go to Jessica Lynn. And there's videos where she showed these radars flashing and then storms disappearing. Hold on. All right, I found her. Back to Jessica Lynn. Shout out to Jessica. If you guys don't know who she is, this is her account right here, Jessie Lynn. And I want to show you this. So we see the weather radars lighting up and storms starting to dissipate. This is what makes me think that there's weather warfare going on in the United States of America, and that storms are starting to be directed. Now, understand, in the hands of some wicked people, these tools are very, very dangerous. And I think to a certain extent, there's something going on with this. But I think I'm not 100% certain that the tools are in wicked people's hands, because the more you look at these, let me go find another one. This is Russia by the way. These are the floods going on in Russia, in central Moscow. The more you look at these radars, come on, Jessica. You've been retweeting a whole bunch of people's stuff today. Here we go. The more you see these, you see, for example, you see the storm kick in, you see the radars kick in and dissipate the storms. So and part of me initially believed that this was being used as the tools to fight, to hurt us. In many cases, I believe this may be what's being used to defend us. And it may be multiple. I don't know. Maybe someone hacks these and gets access to them. I can't tell you the 100% truth of it. But what I can tell you is this. There's definitely weather modification going on, just as Prophet said. And that weather modification is clear. Now, Lee Zeldin was supposed to release information on geoengineering, and he didn't release anything. He was supposed to release the truth, and it was more of a Pam Bond that we're going to release the files, and he didn't release anything. And I'm starting to believe that these people have good intentions, but you sent the wrong people in there with a lack of knowledge that don't know what's going on. And so there's only so much they can do. They don't even know they hear from their ass on these kind of things. You got to get somebody in there who knows what's possible in order to change it. All right, guys, this video is going on long. I hope you enjoyed the video for the morning. I will see you guys in the late night later. Deuces. Hit the like button, man, so we can get these views up.